Так, погнали. Мы тут помогаем расследовать убийство Катерины. О, у нас 24 силы, да? Ну, кстати, хорошо качаемся. Ага, это у меня перк висит, да? Так, окей. Ага, это поговорить. Сначала поговорим с телебоссом.
Good afternoon, sir.
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me
А мы с тобой
František.
уже дрались.
At least them that can speak do. Ha!
They too will fall silent someday.
Ha! True that. What can I do for you?
I hear there was a murder here recently. Some young girl?
True. True. She's lying in the morgue. But who the hell are you? Another Gawker?
Another? Why would anybody come to look at her?
People ain't got no respect. As soon as news spread about what was done to her, folk are always turning up to have a gawk. So if you ain't one of them gawkers, you must be one of them other types. Well, no, you can't shave her. No, no thumb for a souvenir.
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what
Shave her.
exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
Someone killed the poor girl. You can't just let the murderer get away with it, can you?
Well, what do you plan on doing about it?
Find out who did it and bring him to justice.
Well, if that's the way it is, and you really want to help them lasses, it's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those
Детектив.
gawkers and collectors?
No, no. He actually tried to help.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the
Были
first.
еще.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all
Это
killed by the
серийный
same
убийца,
murderer.
да?
And who is this Lumiere?
He used to work for the local bailiff. I think he knew the first one what was killed, but that was a long time ago.
Серийный убийца, да?
Do you remember how many girls were killed?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
Ого.
Do you know where the last one got killed?
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here. But what do you want to do there?
Look for clues. Footprints, blood, anything.
That can help you.
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the Hole in the Wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff. I think he was a scribe.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle, though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere. Do you know where I can find him?
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's no more. I don't know exactly why, though. Seems he had some quarrel with the bailiff.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
It's my pleasure, especially helping someone from the land of the living again. Actually, wait a mo. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
And do you know where I could find her?
She said she serves in one of the burgers' houses, so either there or in the morgue with that poor dead girl.
Thanks again, Master Gravedigger.
Farewell.
Are you Barbara? I'm told you knew Alice.
Alice. Aye. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Ah, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
No, he couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
I heard about that. And also about Lumir.
Well, if you're interested, go and see him. Maybe you'll catch him sober enough to talk sense.
Do you know of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely. But she promised him she'd never tell anyone his name.
And you never saw him?
No, never. I don't even know where she met with him.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No. Nobody saw or heard nothing. One day she just didn't come home. And then they found her. Like this.
What do you mean, like this?
You haven't seen her yet, have you?
I haven't.
Then don't. It's a horrible thing to see. She was such a pretty girl. She had such beautiful brown hair. And it didn't even leave that untouched.
What do you mean?
Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why? None of it makes sense.
So, I'll leave you to mourn in peace now. So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The place they found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look. Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards? Did he really keep all the pieces? Nobody could be that sick, could they? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but nobody cut her there. But she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? The murderer must have had pretty strong hands, and her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. The murderer must have wanted her to suffer, so he started ripping her hair out. Sick bastard. Just some scratches and bruises, that's all. The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even have time to defend herself. So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, Because he strangled her and left a dark ring around her neck. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they aren't by the body. He also cut off most of her hair.
То есть серийный убийца, который режет девчонок. Я только не понимаю эти реплики. Это... Я не уверен, что они на что-то сильно влияют.
He cut off her breasts, but left her tongue. Then left her lying there for all to see. To send a message, maybe? Or a warning? Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? I don't know why he killed her, but I don't think
Я
it's
думаю,
because
что
of
это не
Catherine.
из-за нее. Так, место преступления, да? О, к Липольду сходить сначала, да? Матенька, что ты такой злой?
My respect.
Don't lie. Where would you have learnt how to do that? You think it's hard? Buying a few planks of wood and nailing them together?
Так, ладно. Не здесь, но рядом уже, да? Жебрак. Наймит.
Careful.
I'm sorry, I went to confession yesterday, and that old priest was completely hammered again.
Опа, что рыгаешь, братан?
Lumir?
Oh. Christ, my head.
Угу.
Not so loud.
Пьяный.
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud. I have a splitting headache.
That's some hangover. He's useless to me like this. Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off, I'll have to get him some kind of cure or potion. This should sober him up. Here. Drink up. Better?
What? Who? What are you doing here? Who are you?
My name is Henry.
And what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl. And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumiere from the rat house? The scribe?
I used to be. Now I'm just Lumir the madman.
Well, you don't look crazy.
Yeah. But I am. I see things in my head that aren't real. And then I point my finger at the wrong people. I'm the biggest madman in Kuttenberg.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You can't help that girl anymore, anyway. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lumiere.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
She deserves justice. I simply can't let her killer run free.
You mean well. But you don't know what you're getting yourself into. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mockery. What makes you think you can find out more than I did?
Because I'm not stupid, and I notice things. I've successfully solved a murder before.
Is that so? A murder investigation under your belt. And educated and observant, too.
Well, I said I'm not stupid. Not that I'm educated. I can read and write, too. Sometimes even count.
If only more people knew the difference. All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid, too. As were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls. Stanya and Zdena.
Why are you counting the missing girls?
Because I think someone killed them, and we just haven't found them yet.
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background, no. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor and nobody will miss them?
Certainly. If somebody killed the daughter of a local lord, no stone would be left unturned.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like I'm going in circles and can't get out.
Why were you looking into it? Who were those dead girls to you?
I don't know what people told you about me, but for many long years I was a scribe for Kuttenberg's bailiff. Kuttenberg is a big city with a lot of people. Silver, silver, silver. Mining it, smelting it, stealing it. There's always something going on. The bailiff was always running from hell to Hades, from one rich man to another, settling their quarrels. Often trivial nonsense.
But there are more than just rich burghers and lords in the city.
Exactly. There are common folk too. There's a lot more of them, and their troubles are usually more serious. So when one of them came to the bailiff's one time, and the bailiff was running around somewhere, I started to deal with it myself. I was pretty good at it too.
Behind the bailiff's back?
Not really. Andreas supported my activities until recently.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. Sorry.
What can you tell me about Yarka?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, people started taking an interest. She was a maid in a German family. By all accounts, she was a pious, polite girl. She was orphaned as a child. The priest from the Church of St. Peter and Paul, Father Prokop, raised her. They found her body tossed behind a barn at the edge of town. She was cut all the way from her neck downwards. An awful sight to behold.
Did you have any suspects?
At first, I thought the son from that family did it. The murderer is usually someone close, you know. But then I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, for one, I remembered the two girls before her who ended up almost the same. Besides that, when I talked to the lad, he seemed he wasn't the least bit interested in Yarka. Then his mother told me that they threw her out a week before the murder because she was a harlot who stayed out till all hours of the night. That really surprised me, because Father Prokop had vouched for her good reputation. But who knows? Maybe he just didn't want to admit what had become of her.
What about Stanya?
She was an alehouse wench in a tavern of ill repute called the Hole in the Wall.
You said her body was never found. Maybe she just got out of town.
You have no idea how much I'd like to believe that. Only there was a lot of blood. Unfortunately, the investigation wasn't very successful. The Hole is a world of its own, and the people there aren't very forthcoming with information.
Did you suspect anybody?
You could suspect every second man there. Those people have nothing but thievery and deceit in their eyes. The innkeeper, Mole, definitely knew Stanya, since she worked for him. But he isn't all that chatty either.
So if I want to learn anything more, I have to ask this Mole in the hole?
Yeah, he still runs the place.
And what about that Zdena? You said her body was never found.
Exactly. But to tell the truth, nobody spent much time looking for it. Besides Alice, Zdena was the most recent victim. It's only been a few weeks since she went missing, but I suppose nobody wanted to do any more digging.
But if her body was never found, how do you know she was killed?
Because she was the same type as the other girls. Maybe the prettiest of them all. Young, beautiful. A real live one. Lively as the devil. She was a thief. A pickpocket. I never could pin it on her, though. She always found some way to get out of it.
Maybe she robbed the wrong people and had to get out of town.
Maybe. She had a partner in crime by the name of Strunad. Quite a number. He's always sitting in the hole, boozing. When I asked him about Zdena, he told me he'd rather rip his own tongue out than talk.
И
Do you
снова
think he'd
дыра,
be more
да?
forthcoming with me?
He might be. You're not known all over town like a catchpole. It's worth a try. Besides, it might still be fresh in his memory. That would be a great help.
And what about the other two victims?
It all started with them, though nobody did much about it at the time. The first one worked as a bathhouse maid. They called her Chestnut. She'd only been in town for a short while, and nobody really knew her. So I couldn't find out anything more. But the other one, Libushka, she was from Loretz. She was a maidservant, too. I also talked to her mother. She said she was really cheerful and outgoing. There were lots of suitors circling around her, but she refused them all. She knew she was pretty and knew she could do better than some farmhand.
You mean she wanted someone higher up?
That's what it sounded like. But her mother never found out who she had her eye on.
Interesting. I'll try to see what else I can find out from the mother. Where can I find her?
In the graveyard, lad. The poor woman died of grief. It's sad to say, but we can't help those two dead girls now. And they can't help us with our investigation either. There's nobody else left who could tell us anything about them.
Did you have any suspects back then?
You can always find some suspect. I always dragged the most suspicious ones to the body in the morgue by force. And they threw up at the sight. Or fainted.
Couldn't it have just been an act?
Fainting? Vomiting? That's hard to act. I'd swear none of them did it.
Can you sum it all up for me?
We have 6 victims here. And I believe they were all murdered by the same killer. Unfortunately, we only know a little about the last 4. The most recent ones. By now, we won't learn anything about the first 2. Of the remaining 4, the first to be killed was the maidservant, Yarka. She was raised by Father Prokop from the Church of St. Peter and Paul. He should know the most about her. The next were Stanya and Zdena. Their bodies weren't found, but we assume they also became victims of the same murderer. They both hung around a tavern they called the Hole in the Wall. Stanya was an alehouse maid, and Zdena a pickpocket. And the last victim is Alice now, also a maid. What they all have in common is that they were young, beautiful, and brunette.
Good. I know everything I need to know.
Так,
When you
значит,
learn something more, stop by and see me.
значит,
You've aroused a bit of hope
церква
in me,
дура.
lad. I hope you won't disappoint me.
Церква дыра, да. Значит, ярко. Блин, а почему у меня место преступления исчезло? А тут было вроде же этот... Про место преступления. Буковка, да? Ну ладно. Но это, видимо, сложный квест, поэтому... Тут надо будет подумать. Это напоминает, кстати, этого... Опять же, Ведьмака в Новиграде, когда квест с этим маньяком серийным, когда он на Присциллу напал. Но там он был религиозный фанатик. Тут не ясно.
Good day to you. What brings you here?
Father, I need to ask you a few questions.
I don't have time for theological discussions, my son.
That's not why I'm here. My name's Henry, and I wanted to ask about the murder that happened recently. Someone killed and gutted a young maidservant and left her body lying by the city walls. And I hear it's not the first time this has happened.
Another one murdered. May the Lord grant her eternal rest. Why is it you ask?
Somebody is murdering maids here. We have to put an end to it.
Yes, yes, but those poor souls are already at God's side, and revenge never...
I don't want revenge. I want to stop more killing. That's a better reason, isn't it?
True enough. What do you need to know?
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. But I reckon you know that, don't you? What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka. She was an ordinary girl. She served the von Groll family.
Where did you know Yarka from?
I knew her since she was a little girl. Knew her family.
And?
I was her uncle. When my brother and his wife died, I took care of her.
Who do you think killed her?
William, that pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day and leads the locals astray. Yarka always went there to listen to music.
Why do you think it was William? Do you have any evidence?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser, a tool of Satan. He messes with poor girls' heads.
And does anyone else come to mind? No other man spoke with her?
No, absolutely not.
You raised her? A priest with a child?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first of the clergy to have a child on the side. But at least everyone knew Yarka wasn't my own daughter.
No offense, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife, without a family? I would have been lost.
I was a bit, son. When she was smaller, it was fine, but when she grew up a bit, maybe I was too hard on her.
Why do you think you were too hard on her?
Yarka was an orphan, with no family and no possessions. Her only chance of a good life was a good upbringing. And then, a husband. But the more I led her in that direction, the more she resisted me.
How did she rebel against you?
She wouldn't listen. She ran away. She ran around with all sorts. And how did it turn out? She died. And in sin. Such a disgrace.
Disgrace? What the devil are you talking about?
She was pregnant! Even if she had lived, what then? Nobody would want to marry her anymore.
Интересно, интересно.
You're well off, though. Couldn't you provide for her?
I couldn't. Even if she had been my very own. More so, since
Убили
she was my
беременную
brother.
женщину.
But how come?
The church's property always remains the church's. They keep a close eye on that.
Мгм.
How does that even work? Did you have her with you at the presbytery?
When she was small, I could. But when she grew up, she had to go. It wouldn't look right.
Why don't you respect Lumir?
That's my business. You needn't concern yourself about that. I won't tell you anything.
Come now, Father. I'm not just asking out of curiosity. This is about all the dead girls. Isn't it written in Scripture, speak up for those who have no voice?
A layman quotes the Bible to you. Fine.
Какая же
Lumir
ученость имба.
accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes. He slandered me in public.
And how... What happened then?
It turned out he was deranged. How could he even think such a thing? He's finished in Kuttenberg.
I've heard enough, Father.
Блин, они
I'll
тут
be going.
долго.
Son, I'll give you some good advice. Don't listen to Lumir. That man has gone completely mad.
Так, ладно. Про убийцу говорят, что у него сильные руки, да? Но это явно не священник. Это явно не священник. Значит, пойдем сейчас в дыру. Поговорим. Ну, это сложный квест. Видимо, тут и множество улик, и можно не того выбрать случайно, поэтому надо быть внимательным.
Hey, where's that beer? Taking their time again. I'll have a beer. It's like I'm invisible or something.
Шинкар Крит, да? Маятник.
One beer.
Джи. А что ты тут стоишь, чувачок?
Are you Sternad? The one that went with Zdenna?
Who the fuck are you?
Just an ordinary bloke who has some questions.
Well then piss off. You won't get any answers here. All you're gonna get here is a kick in the teeth.
Why so rash? That kind of attitude will do you no favours. Let's make a deal. You tell me everything you know about Zdenna, and I'll make sure you're no worse for wear.
Ah. You're the lord what that whore robbed. Don't worry about it. She weren't nothing but a lying bitch.
So, if I understand correctly, we can make a deal?
For the right price, I'll tell you all I know.
Готовил, понятно.
Is this the right price?
You fucking bet it is. Ask away and I'll tell you everything.
What can you tell me about Zdenna?
What do you want to hear? I try to keep her out of trouble, but there's just no helping some women.
So you were taking care of her?
Well, just in front of the others. Other than that, she did what she wanted. Always made her mind up and did things her own way.
So you weren't too fond of her?
Not really, no. But she did have a knack for making coin.
Where can I find Zdenna?
Aye. That's what I like to fucking know too. Last time I saw her... Well, that'd be back when she managed to fleece you.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to find her.
I can well imagine. Well, she went to Ravstein Mill. It's quite a long ways away. She had some unfinished business with some bloke called Pint. Ain't nobody seen her since then.
Did she have any friends or lovers who'd know more? Did anybody come here to see her?
Who'd come to see that bitch? She was always off somewhere, seeing someone. Although, once...
Someone came to see her?
Well, aye. Some stuffed frock came here once. All old and decrepit. He said he had some job for her. That she should leave behind her sinful life and all that shit. But he left empty-handed. She told him to go to hell.
Do you know who that priest was?
Some fucking Prokop or Pravoslav or some such shit. But that reminds me. I saw her a couple of times with another bastard. That fucking bard, William.
Угу. У нас опять же снова два подозреваемых.
And could she have run away with this bard, William?
With that lily-livered fop? Well, he ain't been seen in town for some time, but I think someone was out to get him. He still don't come here no more. He plucks that loot of his in the miners' tavern. The wee shit.
What do you know about this priest?
Not much. Seems they knew each other from before. And he had some job for her somewhere. Serving as a maid or something. But she weren't stupid. She told him to fuck right off.
And did he go?
Aye, indeed. He didn't look like the kind of fella that had knocked some sense into a woman. I think he just told her if she changed her mind to come and see him. Or some shit like that.
And could she have changed her mind and gone to him? And that's why nobody's seen her?
No, no. She took off. I'm sure about that.
I've heard enough.
Good day to you.
Did Estanya work here?
Stanya. Maybe. It depends on who's asking.
My name's Henry.
Names don't interest me. The main thing is whether it's a good guest or a bad guest asking. What kind of guest are you, Henry?
I'm a good guest.
Really? Let's see. Do you know how to recognize a good guest?
By the fact he spends a lot of coin?
Aye. I like talking to them kind of guests. A lot. So, what'll it be, my good man?
What if I simply paid you, and you tell me what I want to know?
Ask away.
I want to know if Stanya worked here.
She did. And she don't know more. What's it to you?
I heard she disappeared without a trace. So I'm trying to find out if anyone had anything to do with it.
It's possible. The chamber she was sleeping in here was totally ransacked. The door open. Everything emptied out. And Stanya was gone. All I found were bloody footprints.
Tell me something else.
First, you'll have another beer. Or is it time to pay?
What?
If you want to ask, you have to drink. Didn't you get that?
You're quite the extortionist.
I prefer to be called an enterprising man of trade. So, what'll it...
I'm getting tired of this. I'll give you the money up front, and that's all you'll get. Whether I'm a good guest or bad. Got it? Now you're gonna spill it. Got it?
All right, all right.
Did anybody see what actually happened when Stanya disappeared?
No, it was at night. Nobody saw or heard anything. The tavern tends to be empty at that hour. And you won't meet many people on the street, neither.
What was Stanya like? What can you tell me about her?
A bold woman. One has to be here. Everyone's ballsy here unless you nib it in the bud right away. She was hanging around a bard for a while. I don't know how close they were, but she also had another suitor.
Someone from the city?
No, a charcoal burner. I heard he was from somewhere in the, Verklitz Valley. I think his name was Barton?
What do you know about that bard?
What about him? He's a minstrel, a skirt chaser. What more can I say? He called himself William. As far as I know, he plays in the Miners' Tavern in the evenings. But sometimes he shows up here, too.
You think he might have been the one who...
Now that you mention it, he cleared out of town for a while and only came back not long ago. It could be him, all right. I know he met with some odd people and talked about God knows what, like bloody spies. Besides, you know what minstrels are like. Lasses just flock to them. And like they say, opportunity makes the thief.
Or in this case, a murderer. Apart from those men, did anyone else know Stanya? I mean, more intimately.
Well, I got bad news for you. She had two close friends, but you won't get much out of either of them.
Why?
One was hit by a cart, even before Stanya disappeared. And she died. And the other one got married and moved away.
How did Stanya's room look?
The door was wide open. Most of her things were gone, but some remained. And there was blood all over the place.
Blood? Was there a lot?
Not so much, really. More like hand or footprints. But they were near everywhere. If someone done her in, they definitely didn't do it in that chamber.
Where can I find this Barton?
I already told you. In the Verchlitz Valley.
Could you be a bit more precise?
I don't know that bloke at all. So if I was you, I'd look somewhere around the charcoal kilns.
That's all I need to know.
Так. Видимо, нам надо будет выйти на улицу погулять, да? Шарка и Стена. Все в Биланах, да? 19
I'm sorry.
тысяч.
I wasn't paying
Так.
attention.
Ну, это крутой квест. Это прямо... А, можно еще к этому, к Виллину сходить. Можно еще сходить, узнать. Так, к Виллину. Я думаю, что он не злодей. Он дурачок, скорее всего. Я даже священника больше подозреваю, чем его, если честно.
Hey, innkeeper, that beer.
Ага.
It's William, right? I need to talk to you.
What is it? Do we know each other? Do I owe you money?
My name's Henry, and no, we don't know each other, and you don't owe me money. But we do have something in common. We have a lot of mutual friends.
What? What do you want of me? I don't have to talk to you.
You don't need to. I can go and chat with the guards instead. Tell them you're the one hurting those girls.
What? I don't have anything to do with any girls.
Really? You? A notorious skirt chaser? Do you think anyone will believe you?
I just got back to the city. I don't know what you're trying to pin on me, but whatever it is, I didn't do it.
But everyone remembers you. You better spit it out before someone points the finger at you.
Come on. All right, then. Ask away.
Did you know Alice?
I know a lot of Alice's. You have to be more specific.
The one they found dead somewhere below the town walls.
Oh, her. I didn't know her, but I heard about it.
I heard she used to go to dances.
Yeah, and? I'm not the only musician in the city. I really didn't know her.
They say she had a rich young suitor. Do you know anything about that?
Me? Do I look rich to you? I get paid in food.
But you could at least pass yourself off as wealthy.
Or I could claim to be the Virgin Mary, but I doubt anyone would believe me.
And did you ever meet Yarka? It was a long time ago, but I heard she used to hang around you a lot. And Father Prokop didn't like it.
Oh, that one. Aye, she was very keen on my company for a while, but then she stopped coming.
Because somebody killed her.
I know what happened was a tragedy, but it wasn't my fault. She stopped talking to me long before that. Honest.
Here we are. Good.
And did you know she was pregnant?
What? Yarka was... That's horrible. Who would kill a pregnant woman?
That's what I'd like to find out. What about the unwilling father-to-be? It wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
What? Mine? I never even got under her skirt. We just flirted a bit, and then she stopped coming by.
And can you tell me anything else about it?
I don't know anything. It was a long time ago. You said so yourself.
And I hear you knew Stanya.
Which one do you mean?
The alehouse wench from the hole. I heard you had something with her too.
Well, she batted her eyes at me a couple of times when I was still playing there. A nice girl, but I didn't know her much.
And the innkeeper Mole told me a different story. He said you were the one coming on to her.
Fine, we had a bit of fun together. But she was always the one who started it.
And aren't you just saying that because she left you?
Oh, come on! I could have any woman, if I wanted.
Good day.
The innkeeper must have got it mixed up. He's an old drunkard after all. If I was you, I wouldn't take him too seriously.
And what about Zdena? You knew her, right?
Do I know Zdena? As wild as the wind and always full of life. And those nimble fingers. You always had to check your purse around her.
Did she steal something from you?
A traveling minstrel doesn't have much to steal, but she was well aware of that. She was on the lookout for some better prey.
You don't happen to know who she wanted to rob?
There were lots. Anyone she thought was rich enough who let her ply her charms for a while. Like young von Groller. When he started coming here, she got to him right away. Said she was gonna rob him blind. Far as I know, she didn't succeed. If she robbed a noble like von Groller, word would get around. Look, why are you asking me about all this? You don't seriously think I killed her, do you?
Well, you did know them all.
And? I'm surely not the only one.
That may be true. But everybody knows you're a skirt chaser, and they were all pretty girls. And now, they're dead.
But I had nothing to do with it!
Hey, where's that beer?
So you didn't do anything to them?
No! Why would I? What would I get out of it? It doesn't make any sense. It goes against God.
You dare invoke God?
I admit, I'm no saint, but for Christ's sake, I'd never kill anybody.
Good. I believe you. But if any clue leads me back here to you, I won't give you a second chance.
You won't hear about me again, I swear to God.
Так, ну, я все-таки не верю, что это он. Так, куда бы еще сходить? Вообще можно сходить туда, да? Взять квестик и как раз переночевать. Посмотрим, что там будет. Так, где там выход? Угу. Так, ладно, переоденемся. Как раз там будет квестик в корчме. И заодно мы поищем этого угляра. Да. То есть 6 жертв. 2 за сроком давности уже истекли. Осталось еще 4.
Воу!
4. Это цыганки, что ли?
My respects.
Купейс, купчиня. Микус Мондры, бояринство. Ага, это с Моравии, наверное, пацаны, да?
How can I help you, sir?
Are you in charge of the black market with horses?
Black market with horses? I am Boyar Stoya of Mondra, and my brother Mikol and I have been commissioned by King Sigismund to deal with the administration of equine matters, valid for Kuttenberg and its surroundings. Mangones officia, also known as Ars Mangonica, is otherwise banned in Hungary and Bohemia. Our job is to wipe out unnecessary trading in times of war.
And what does it involve? Being a horse trader in the region?
Hungary, Transylvania, even our home, Wallachia, unfortunately lack equus valde bonus. King Sigismund himself allowed us, the brothers of Mondra, to buy up Bohemian horses and export them. We buy Selati as well as Redari, meaning both riding and work horses. But due to the Emperor's current situation, we don't have as many groschen as when the city first came under siege.
Can I acquire a horse here?
Not usually. But as I am sure you know, Bohemia has been ransacked. Stables are demanding higher and higher prices for horses. But with Emperor Sigismund's blessing, I can offer Equus Magnus to knights who can't afford their full price. Which means that for a small fee, I can tame any horse you bring to me and teach him to call you master.
I see. If I wanted something like that, where should I bring the horse?
Bring him over here to the flag.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll have a look at the wares.
I was glad to be of help to you, good friend.
Так, значит, пацаны, Румыния. Так, кто у меня квест просит, интересно.
Was möchtest du, mein Herr?
What's new around here?
Ага, не хочет, да? Ничего говорить. Так, один наверху, что ли? Ну, видимо, наверху. Найманность. Что-то много наемников у нас тут, а? Странно. Метка показывается здесь, да. Ничего не могу. Ладно.
Wie geht's, mein Herr?
I need to eat and sleep here.
But of course, as you wish, sir. And for how long?
Одну ночку.
I'll just stay overnight.
Ja, natürlich, mein Herr. Will you pay in advance?
Agreed. I'll pay. Here's your...
Sehr gut. I knew we'd come to an agreement. I'm sure you'll enjoy your stay.
I'll have a look at your wares.
I'm glad you found what you needed, sir.
Так, где ж тогда этот место отдыха?
Good day.
You're always welcome here, noble sir.
Мандрівник, священник. О, Квитослав.
You're new here. All right, man?
Was there something you wanted?
Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. What's your name, pal?
Henry.
Kvietoslav. Pleased to meet you. Well, Henry,
Так.
you can't read and write by any chance?
I can.
Brilliant. You're just the man I've been waiting for.
Really? What do you need?
Someone trustworthy who could help me write this business letter.
And you were just waiting in case one happened to walk past? Isn't there a scribe in Kuttenberg?
Of course there is. It's just that I don't trust the bugger. And his assistant, even worse. While you strike me as a trustworthy fella. What's more, I can tell at first glance you ain't local, so my trade secrets are of no use to you.
So you want me to write a letter for you and keep it hush-hush?
I couldn't have put it better myself.
What kind of letter is it, exactly?
Like I said, it's an important business letter. There's some matter I need to settle with this Kuttenberg burger.
Are you offering him something?
Aye. You could say that, actually. It's kind of like a business offer.
What do I get for writing it?
A whole heap of coin, pal. It's really important for me. I don't mind giving you a groschen for every word.
Really? How long will the letter be?
Very long. There's a lot I need to say.
All right. I'm certain we can work something out.
Brilliant. But before we get started, could you take a look at this? Just to test you.
What's this supposed to be?
I was given this here parchment by one wandering student. He said it's a love poem.
How many miles you've wandered at such a grueling pace? Rest your feet, dear maiden. Sit here upon my face. That sounds more like bawdy verse than a love letter.
Is that what it says? Bugger. You know what? You can keep it. But it's clear you can read, so let's get down to work.
Where are we going to write the letter? I can see neither parchment nor an inkwell here.
Oh no, we can't write it here. Too many curious ears round here.
Well then...
You have to go to Kuttenberg, in the northern part of town, known as the Miners' District. I have my office. Enter the city by that gate. Keep going straight until you pass the town hall. Keep the markets on your right. Go as far as the city wall, and there it is. The building may look a bit run down from outside, but don't worry about that. Go in, and my business partners will be waiting for you there.
Ни разу не ловушка.
Hold on. You're not coming with me?
I'm afraid I've got things to be doing.
Can't you tell me anything more about the letter?
Nothing to tell. Like I said, I'm in... And what better way than a nicely written letter?
Right, so I go to the city, and in the Miners' District, I find your office. Well, they'll dictate the letter to me and pay me.
That's right. There's one more thing, though. Tell them two in the office that justice is worth more than silver, so they know it's me what sent you.
You have a password? Why?
You know, when coin's at stake, you can't trust
Ни разу не
anyone.
бандиты.
But that's enough chit-chat. Off you go, don't keep them waiting. And welcome to the world of Kuttenberg businessmen. Wish you a blessed evening.
Постскриптум. Побочка, да? Побочка — это, значит, большое задание. Окей. Но это потом. Мы сейчас поспим и поедем тогда вниз. Сюда сначала. К этому гернику. Потому что мне кажется, что... Опа.
Oh, you much.
А ну, что-то слабенько. Ага, ну почти, почти. По крайней мере, похоже на правду. Так, что мне надо? Надо поспать.
Careful.
Значит, по-моему, на втором этаже здесь где-то рядом. Веночек, да? Все, веночек. Угу. Моя кроватка. Так. Мне что-то надо отсюда? Вроде как нет. А я могу что-то сложить? Да, вроде тоже нет. Поспим хорошенько и можно за дело. Так, дочь, погнали.
Here you go. Take it.
Так, значит, пойдем сюда. Ой, там церковь, похоже, какую-то, да? А, мы тут были. Или не здесь? Какой-то мы были, одно из двух этих. Это там, где кости драконьи. Ну, это похоже на заброшенную, да? А ну-ка, сейчас залезем. Дуже важко. Ого. Интересно. Дуже легко. Какая-то заброшенная... Опа. Интересно, что это у нас такое? Это что, вот эти кутногорские подземелья, что ли? Прикольно. Интересно. Куда это я иду? Там, где просто был этот квест с рыцарем, там же он вроде был в другом месте. Там, где были подземелья. Ого, какая-то прям... Так, это уже интересно. А как я туда пролезу? Там что-то происходит. Какая-то секреточка, да? Ладно, все равно пока непонятно, как туда добраться. Ну ладно, мы пока вернулись, так сказать, наверное, назад наверх. Просто я как понимаю, есть карта этих канализаций кутногорских, но это ж вроде не Кутногорск уже. Это уже какие-то шахты скорее. Может быть, это сюжетная штука. Мне пока тут просто не стоит быть. Так что ладно, поехали дальше по своим делам. Может, реально по сюжету. Так, значит, есть какой-то чел, работник, да? Шахтер. Блин, у шахтера сильные руки. Но я что-то думаю, что это убийца из шляхты почему-то. А с другой стороны... Так, надо объехать, а то я тут разобьюсь. Что это такое? Какое-то поле боя, что ли? А ну-ка. Как мне спуститься? А вот так. Стрелец Альбрехт. Ты у нас кто? Цитрат Сварця. А, то есть вы мне хотите сказать, что у вас... Книга про благородство лука. О, сюда. То есть челы между собой провели дуэль и друг друга убили, да? Базилярд. Трактат про красу арбалета. Две книжки, да? Очень важно, да? Но я думаю, где-то ключ еще есть. Обычно там, где очень важно. 500, ничего себе. А, ну вот и ключ. Ну, короче, челы поставили ставку, кто друг друга победит в перестрелке. И в ходе дуэли друг друга убили. Засыпана копальня. Так, погнали дальше. Ну, 500 это приятно. Еще и две книжечки, извините. Причем две разных. Это приятно. Что на стрельбу даже есть разные книжки. Обычно они одного типа. Кент. Ну это, конечно, Кент.
I'll get you.
Но это было очень просто. Золотый жетон императора. И что он дает? Імператори не програють. Потройні очки за кожну комбинацию. 1+1+1. Блин, ну я через тройки играю, поэтому, наверное, нет. Я думаю, кстати, что вот эту фигню с кубиками святого вот этого Антония понерфят, потому что, ну, это в принципе ломает факт абсолютно. Так, юсили доги. Так, Тесли. Тесли. Ты у нас кто? Тесли. А, ты чуть-чуть подальше, да? Ладно. А, вот у нас вугляри.
Воу!
Ищем, короче, мужика.
My respects.
Будник 1. Будник 2. Он еще пацан какой-то. Будник 3. Ага, вон там еще пацаны. Ты у нас кто? Обычный. Ты у нас тоже обычный.
I need to ask you something.
I don't have time for that. Ask the foreman. You'll find him around here somewhere.
Ага, послал меня нахер. Понятно. О, ты у нас Кент.
I'm looking for someone named Stanya.
You're in a charcoal camp, fella. What would a woman be doing here?
But you know Stanya, don't you?
Aye. You could say that. Why?
I'm looking for the killer of a girl in town. And I heard that someone also tried to kill this Stanya.
That's true. She told me something like that. But that was a long time ago.
So you don't know what became of her?
I really don't know, mate. But even if I did know, how can I be sure you aren't that killer?
I wouldn't be foolishly asking around for her then, would I?
Why not? How else would you find her?
Without getting seen by any witnesses.
What do you mean? What witnesses?
I mean you. If I tried anything, you'd remember me.
Well, that didn't occur to me. That would really be stupid of you.
I really only want to talk to her.
Sorry, but after all that happened to Stanya, I like to be careful.
So Stanya is here?
Aye. She's hiding with us. Since that thing
Она
happened, she's
живая.
afraid to even go
Опа.
outside. I don't know what to do with her anymore.
Can I speak to her?
If it'll help you. She's hiding in that cottage, but be nice to her. She's in a bad way. She used to be such a gutsy girl. Till we meet again.
Так, чел. Чел уже явно выписан из злодеев, потому что иначе он бы ее не держал в плену, правильно? Но у нас есть первый выживший.
What was it I wanted?
Who are you? How did you find me? If you came here to finish what you started, I'm not afraid of you. I'll claw your eyes out.
Don't be afraid. Barton told me where to find you.
Barton sent you to me. What do you want from me?
Lumir thought you were dead. I was supposed to find out what happened to you.
Lumir? From the rat house. He sent you.
Exactly. Someone killed a girl in Kuttenberg. Lumir thought it might be connected with you, so maybe you could help us find out who did it.
How can I help you when I haven't been in Kuttenberg since... I don't even know when.
You disappeared from the hole in the wall without saying goodbye. Without a word. What happened?
Someone attacked me when I was coming home from the baths one night. I managed to get away, but I was so afraid. I decided to run away from Kuttenberg.
Did you see who it was?
Not at all. I didn't see anything until he jumped out of the shadows and grabbed me around the neck. And he was terribly strong. I nearly blacked out right away.
Так,
And
это
how did you manage to
почерк
break free?
убийцы.
I had an empty picture in my hand, and I hit him with it. He howled and let me go, and I ran away.
Here? To the charcoal burners?
No, first to my room in the hole. But I was so scared there. I took what I could and ran. Here, to Barton.
And your lover? What did he say?
At first he was horrified, because I had cut myself on a shard from the picture and was all bloody.
Ага, вот
He's
что у
been
нее
hiding me
комната
here since
была.
then.
Вот что у нее комната была в крови. Порезалась во время сопротивления.
What was it like working in the hole?
Well, I earned a few groschen, that I did. But I often had to grit my teeth.
How so?
Every single day I had to put up with their lewd remarks. Rich or poor, everyone wants to grope a girl. People, well, us girls have to watch out. We can't just put up with it, and sometimes we have to be tough, especially in a place like the hole. But you can't overdo it either. That's no good.
How so?
Because if you smile at them nicely, then sometimes they leave a groschen, or even two. You have to keep a balance.
to look friendly but unavailable.
Средневековый OnlyFans.
You said that rich or poor,
Так.
they all like to grope girls. Like who?
Truth be told, the hole isn't exactly a good place for a rich man.
Опять
But young
Гроля.
von Groll used to go there for a while.
Is that
Шляхтич.
so? Did he talk to you?
He smiled at me a lot, so I smiled back. But beyond a few groschen, there was nothing more to it. Then this thieving wench started hanging around him and... Oh, it doesn't matter. But that servant of his didn't like it, tried to drive her away, and so the young lord stopped bringing him with him.
Von Groller had a servant with him.
Aye, a pudgy fella, well-dressed, but had a mean face. He never said a word or smiled, or even said thank you.
You walked home from the baths at night.
What's so odd about that?
Well, at night, the baths are...
Ah, right. I went there after closing. I always brought the girls a pitcher of wine or ale and took a bath while they drank it.
Ah. So that's why you had the empty pitcher you hit him with?
Right. I went there regularly, every week.
The same way every time?
Aye, always the same way. The shortest one. I didn't want to stay out too long at night.
And who knew that you went by yourself to the baths?
Well, everyone from the tavern, I reckon. I didn't hide it.
Why didn't you go back to the hole?
Just to get murdered there? Are you mad? I'm never going back there. Not until they catch him.
Do you remember anything important about the attacker? What he looked like? What he was wearing?
I don't know anything. It was at night. He grabbed me from behind, and then I ran and never turned back.
And what about when you hit him? What did he do?
He let me go and cursed.
Aha. And what did he say?
He said Scheisse in German.
Так. Немецкая. Немецкая, да? 3 пацана. Уже 3 этих.
Seems you're the only one to survive the killer's attack. I know it isn't easy for you to think about it, but try to remember something else about that moment, or when you were running away. Anything can help us, even if it seems insignificant.
I don't know. It's all like in a fog.
You were walking down the street. Did you notice anything before he attacked you?
No, nothing.
You didn't see anything or hear anything?
Actually, I knew the side street wasn't empty. I heard somebody talking, but when I looked, there was nobody there. So when somebody grabbed me, I completely froze.
Did you understand what they were talking about?
Not at all. But there were 2 voices. 2 of them waiting for me there.
2.
It's difficult, I understand. But aside from those voices and the empty street, what else do you remember?
I didn't hear him at all, and then he grabbed me.
And nothing else? Did he grab your hair?
Well, no. He grabbed me by the throat right away
За горло.
and squeezed.
Так.
Just for a moment, but I still had a big bruise round my
Сильные
neck for
руки,
weeks.
так.
Barton said the man must have had a terribly strong grip, like a miner or swordsman.
Майнер or swordsman. Угу.
How are you now?
I'm still awful scared. I can't fall asleep knowing that, and I can't even really leave the house.
Couldn't it have been Father Prokop?
Father Prokop? I don't know him.
No, he's pretty old. He preaches in the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul.
I don't know him, and if he's an old man, how strong could his grip really be?
Отсеиваем.
Couldn't it have been that innkeeper then? You yourself said he's a pig.
Aye, when he drinks, he turns into a total bastard. All lewd remarks and groping fingers.
Но это не он.
The lecher.
Не он.
Only when I got to my room, I could hear him snoring. It couldn't have been him.
I heard William liked pretending to be a spy. Do you know anything about that?
Aye, I thought it pretty silly. A
Не,
stupid
это
trick
тоже
to
не
make
он.
himself
Это
seem
кто-то
more
третий.
interesting. Though I reckon he's more likely to attract an
Это кто-то
ass-kicking
еще.
than a woman.
I reckon that'll be all.
I'm sorry I'm not able to help you more.
You don't need to apologise.
Thank you. Could I ask you for a favor?
If it's in my power.
When you catch that bastard, would you please let me know? So I can finally stop being afraid.
I'll stop by if I can.
Farewell, my friend.
Ну, не сильно мне она помогла на самом деле. Но запомним, вот здесь получается к ней вернуться. Про долю крадейки. Ну, короче, отсеяли этих основных. Это кто-то третий из них. Вот этого Грота сильно вспоминает. Может, это его слуга? Опять же, говорят про мощный хват. То есть это либо человек-мечник, как она правильно сказала, либо работяга. А монарх, музыкант не подходит под это описание абсолютно. То есть это явно не они. Это кто? Я, кстати, смотрю кучу мест для охоты. Не понимаю вообще, а зачем она нужна. Живучесть качается быстро. Денег и так полно. Зачем, собственно, убивать животных за так? В первой части просто была отдельная ветка охоты, и тогда это было действительно полезно. Ну, точнее не полезно, но имело смысл какой-то. Когда ее все добавили в одну ветку, то, блин, зачем мне оленят, кабанчиков убивать просто так? Не говоря про то, что это противозаконно. Еще с первой части, в принципе. Что там, тело лежит, что ли? Мне показалось. Ну, квест прикольный. Прикольный. Причем я все еще не могу понять, кто бы это, по каким причинам он убивает. Вот это непонятно пока что. Потому что в том же Ведьмаке, похожий квест, там оно было понятно почему. Буквально там после первого расследования. Так, тихо. Надо тихонечко спуститься, не разбиться. Ну, по крайней мере, это не политические мотивы, как Катюха думает. Поэтому... В принципе, она может за себя не беспокоиться. Но то, что это серийный убийца, это факт. Это прям факт. Ага. Лошадку спустить. Можно тут как-то пройти аккуратненько? Можно. Какой-то прям хуторок, да? Да нет, даже такой похоже на мельницу небольшую, да? Рапштейн. Подожди, Рапштейн мы... Это второй, да? А вот это первый. То есть это вот первый был старый, с руинами. А это новый, да? А ну-ка. Барила, здорово.
God bless you, sir.
Are you Pine?
I am. Why?
I'm looking for Zdena.
I don't know any Stena.
Sternad said something different.
You're a friend of Sternard's, are you?
Ah, God forbid. That's all I need. A friend like that bastard. But he was the only one who really knew Zdena.
You're right there. Stena was always cursing him. He was as lazy as a pig, but always wanted his share.
So you knew Zdena? Can you tell me anything about her?
I know Stena all right, but she ain't been here in some time. Why are you looking for her? What do you want from her?
I'm looking for a... Back in the city, they think she's either dead or run off somewhere. And you're the last person to see her before she went missing.
Kurva.
What can you tell me about Zdena?
She always had it hard. She lost her parents and her home as a child. She had to learn to take care of herself.
And what about Sternad? How does he fit into this?
Sternard was her guardian angel, as she used to say. If she hadn't been thieving with him, she probably would have ended up a whore. But by sharing with him, she could do what she wanted.
Uh-huh. I'm surprised she stuck with him as long as she did.
That's because she had a hideout somewhere nearby. That's why she'd come to me with her loot, before they taxed her on the spot. And the last time she was here, she said one more haul like this, and she'd be able to go wherever she wanted. To Prague or Vienna.
I heard she wanted to sell you some valuables. Is that true?
Oh, aye. She had a good haul. No rubbish. Mostly jewelry, rings, one signet ring with a coat of arms and everything. She left it all here. I paid her a pretty sum of coin. It was a good thing she had a basket with her. Otherwise, she couldn't have carried it all.
And what about that signet ring? Do you still have it?
She didn't sell me the ring. She wanted to keep it. Said it'd bring her luck someday.
Do you know what kind of luck she meant? Did you recognize the signet on the ring?
No. I didn't recognize that signet. But all the while, Stena was giggling to herself.
Я думаю, это Гроун.
I reckon she had her
Опять же,
eye on
это
another mark.
шляхта.
Where did she go next from here? You said she had a lot of coin on her.
That she did. She also had a feeling someone was following her. Someone on a horse.
Someone followed her on a horse from Kuttenberg. Did she say what he looked like?
She didn't. At first, she thought it was some wealthy lord out for a ride. But he held back. Never passed by her and...
And did you see him? Did he come all the way here?
No. But Stena thought he would show. She even left her scarf here and paid some girl to walk around with it to make it look like she was still here.
And then where'd she go?
She wanted to go the back way, through the woods, so nobody could follow her. Past the woods is a road and a ford across a stream. Next to it is a huge boulder. When it rains, the water can rise fast. The road goes on to Kuttenberg.
Well, if it leads back to the road and there was really someone following her, I reckon if they saw she was long in returning, they could have waited for her at the ford, no?
Fuck! That's quite possible. I made a point of looking, but I didn't see any riders that day. So I forgot about it.
Is Denna's scarf? Do you still have it?
Aye. I wanted to give it back to her the
О,
next time she
дороги
came.
часть сюда.
Will you give it to me? I'll try having my dog track her down.
All the same to me. Here you go. But it's been a long time. I don't know if it will help.
Догич. Отлично.
And could it have been Father Prokop following her?
What do I know? If he has a horse and fancy clothes. But why would he do it?
I heard he wanted to find her an honest job, but she wasn't interested.
I don't know. She didn't say nothing about that.
And could it have been William?
And who would that be?
He's this bard she was seeing.
I don't know about that. I don't remember her mentioning nobody by that name.
Well, I'll go and check out that fort. Maybe I'll find something there.
I hope you don't. Farewell.
Truck.
Good doggy.
Good boy.
Так, собачка взяла след. Значит, что-то есть. Ага. То есть у меня даже маркер появился уже, да? Песик молодец. Полезно иметь собачку в хозяйстве. Рядом. Ага, я вижу кровь, следы крови.
That has to be that ford Pike was talking about. Should take a look around here.
Кровь. Следы крови. Сколько крови вообще, ё-моё. Так, малыш, куда надо? Ага. Ё-моё.
Poor thing. She didn't get very far. Ugh. She's been lying here a long time. At first glance, this body isn't as mutilated as the others. Unfortunately, I can't tell if somebody strangled her like the others. She's been lying here too long for that, but her head is smashed in. Either the murderer hit her with a rock, or dashed her hard against the ground. She must have put up a fight. Or maybe he lost his patience.
Ну ведь вообще выглядит как почерк другого убийцы.
Oh, she's all stuck to her clothes. Torn up. But I don't see any cuts. Rips are odd. Like someone was looking for something.
Кольцо с печаткой.
Can't make much out by now. But it seems as if the fingers on her right hand are broken.
Пытали.
Did the murderer torture her? Or was he trying to get something out of her hand?
Кольцо с печаткой искал.
Oh, my God. Oh, something fell out of her. A signet ring. Oh.
Это и
You're
есть
the one
наш
she stole.
ключ.
How did it get inside her? Did she swallow it herself? Or did the murderer shove it in there? Was she trying to hide it? Or was it punishment for stealing? Well, that's enough. What does it all mean? I'd say she put up a decent fight, and the killer had to improvise, and that's about all I can find out. She's probably been lying here a few weeks.
А может, и Ли
But that ring is a
кстати,
good
виноват.
lead.
Да, сдана. О, а что ты? А ну-ка, дождик один. Відкрито. Там ее этот... А, не повезло. Я думаю, там ее заначка. Так, подытожим. Ну, надо к этому челу идти, да? Назад. И с ним уже базарить. Ну, типа, Писака, откуда он сильный? И тут все сводится к тому, что челы были... что челы были сильными. Что убийца физически сильный. По роду профессии, это подсказка какая-то. Вонючий писарь, он вряд ли мог быть таким. Так, я в этот дом. Здорово, мужик. Хвась.
I found out some interesting things about those murders. Just like you said.
That's wonderful news. But wait a while. I promised Catherine we'd wait for her.
You know Catherine?
She came to see me soon after you did, and started asking me questions. Just like you.
Will you send for her? So, we're all here.
I hope nobody else shows up. How did it go?
I reckon I've found out all I can.
And do you know who the murderer is?
Нет,
Not exactly,
пока
but I
непонятно.
have a few ideas.
I've asked around a bit, and I have my own suspicions.
Is that so? See, I was trying to recall some more details, and I had someone come to mind as well.
Well, I didn't do all this for nothing, did I?
Well, I...
Давай.
Well, who do you suspect now?
Well, I'd say William did it. The minstrel.
You can't be serious. He's innocent.
Uh-huh. And who do you think it was?
Prokop. I'm sure of it.
No. Really? That's impossible. It couldn't have been him.
So I see we disagree. Too bad. We could have been done with it quickly.
Well, who do you think it was then?
I'm not entirely sure. First, I'll tell you what I found out, and then it might be easier for us.
Go on then. Starting with who?
Let's talk about Yarka, the one raised by Father Prokop.
What did you learn about her?
Prokop didn't just raise her out of the goodness of his heart. He was actually her uncle.
Really? But he still could have killed her.
His own relative?
Why not? He's a priest. I'm sure he knows the story of Cain and Abel.
Prokop also admitted that he didn't know how to handle her, and perhaps he was too strict.
What do you expect from a Bible thumper? Man punishes and God forgives. It never occurs to them that if man didn't punish, God wouldn't have to forgive.
Well, maybe I wouldn't hold it against him. He really tried to make sure she was well taken care of. He wanted to find her a husband, too.
And did you learn who he found?
No. I think it fell apart when Yarka started rebelling. Yarka started working for the von Groller family, where she remained until her death.
I was there to ask whether she'd given them any trouble, but they said she was always thorough and reliable.
Ah, so what's the story with von Grolls?
A very wealthy and important family. The mother is quite devout, known to spend a lot of time in prayer.
Вот
Old von Groller's
я как
been
раз и
sick for years.
подозреваю их больше всего.
Can't even get out of bed.
So, who runs affairs?
That would be young Hendel. They say he's quite successful.
Вот это, видимо, и наш чувачок.
Before her death, I heard she often went to dances.
There's nothing wrong or surprising about that. But maybe she found someone there.
Maybe. Prokop was convinced that she went to see William. That was actually the only name he mentioned.
That doesn't mean anything.
It means she had some relationship with William, or at least knew him.
And now, most importantly, Yarka was pregnant when they killed her.
I didn't know that. Do you know for sure? So they gutted her?
To make it impossible to tell she was pregnant? I wouldn't be surprised.
May God forgive us.
Do you know who she was pregnant with? Because if we know who the father is, we'll likely know who the killer is.
She didn't tell Prokop.
It had to be someone from those dances. Maybe William.
Prokop is convinced that she was murdered by that bard, William.
And I agree with him.
Не.
I heard the daughters of important men come to see him. It even went so far he
Я
had
уже
to flee
уверен,
the
что
city.
это кто-то
And the
из
moment he's
шляхты.
back, there's another murder.
Really? But I found out you accused Prokop first, Lumir.
What? Why?
Опа.
It doesn't matter. It was a mistake, and I paid for it.
And were you as sure then as you are now about William?
I don't think so.
Так.
But he's a skirt chaser. If he got Yarka pregnant, then...
Perhaps. But why would he kill and mutilate her? He could have just run away.
But then he could never come back.
Why not? He could come back a year later, once things have died down, the child would be born, the shame forgotten, and nobody would
Как
bring it up
женщина
again.
говорит по фактам.
I suppose that makes sense. That's all I was able to find out.
You still found out more than I did.
But it's not enough. We still don't know who the killer is.
But we can agree that she was killed because of her pregnancy, can't we?
Agreed. Somebody got rid of her to make sure nobody found out she was pregnant.
I'm sure William wanted...
William isn't the only man with a prick. And he certainly didn't use it to strangle her to death.
Это
Such
правда.
language. What are you trying to say?
У нее сил не хватило бы столько.
That William isn't the only man in the city. It could have been anyone. And now we'll never find out.
I'm not saying it couldn't have been him. Though I don't think it was.
Я
It
тоже
just
так
seems
думаю.
foolish to only focus on him.
I suppose you're right. Let's forget it.
I managed to find Stanya.
Alive? You found her alive?
I did. Alive and well. Hiding with the charcoal burners.
So, she's not one of our victims?
She is. She just managed to escape the killer. She said she was attacked on her way home from the baths. She heard somebody talking in a side street, but it was empty. But when she walked by, someone grabbed her by the throat and started strangling her.
And how did she manage to get away?
She was holding an empty pitcher, and she smashed the killer in the face with it. He either got startled or hurt, but he let her go.
Did she get a look at him? Did she take his eye out or something?
No, she didn't stop to find out. Just ran. Which is probably why she survived.
And what about the blood in the bedroom?
She cut her hand on the broken pitcher. She didn't stay in her room for long. She was still so scared that she grabbed her things and ran off to her beloved charcoal burner.
Ух ты ж, ё-моё, сколько тут диалогов и инфы.
She said she returned from
И
the
оно
baths
все
in the
влияет,
evening
да,
regularly.
на
And
принятие
somebody knew
решения.
exactly which way she would take and where to
Или
wait
это ту
for her.
инфу, которую мы
You mean
собрали.
someone followed her beforehand to figure out where to ambush her?
Who knew that she went to the baths?
Apparently everyone in the tavern. She didn't hide the fact. She also said she was sure it wasn't Mole. He may be a pig.
То
But the
есть,
evening she
как
ran
чмаря мы
home, he
не
was in bed
рассматриваем.
snoring.
Это факт.
Well, according to Stanya, the murderer had a terribly strong grip. Her neck was bruised for almost a month.
Doesn't almost every man have a strong grip?
Depending on what they take in hand every day. A tankard, a quill, or a hammer.
Except none of our suspects are miners or blacksmiths, eh? According to Stanya, the murderer didn't say a word the entire time.
That's strange, right? I'd expect him to at least call her a whore.
The only word he uttered was when she smashed him in the face with the pitcher. He said Scheisse.
So, we're looking for a German?
Even I say Scheiße sometimes, and I'm not German.
Besides that, she also recalled hearing two voices in the alley. Someone was talking to the killer.
So we have a witness. Now, just to find him.
Or an accomplice. If I remember correctly, the other one must have seen the whole thing, right? And he didn't go to report it.
Факты.
I asked Stanya if she knew Prokop. She said no.
Maybe she just doesn't remember him. Or he gave a different name, or...
Не,
I
тоже
don't
не
think
думаю.
Father Prokop is the type to frequent the worst
Это
tavern in
правда.
Kuttenberg.
Stanya admitted that she knows William. He flirted with her and tried to get
Все сводится к
to know
этому
her better,
Гротта.
but nothing came of it.
And that's probably
Хорошо
why I
для
wanted to
меня.
kill her. And likely rape her before that.
Well, perhaps, but Stanya doesn't think so. She's sure it wasn't William, and no matter what they say about him, in her eyes he's a good lad. And that's all that Stanya told me.
I'm so glad that girl is alive.
Me too. At least someone's had a little luck. Does she want to come back, or will she stay with the charcoal burners?
I don't think she'll come back. She's so scared now they'll come back for her, she doesn't even leave the house. I managed to find Zdena.
You found her? Is she alive too?
No. Unfortunately, she's dead.
And where did you find her?
Pretty far away. Near the mill she used to sell things at. Someone caught her in the forest when she was coming home with a load of coin and killed her. I reckon she put up a hell of a fight. So the killer got nervous and ended things quickly.
So he didn't strangle or mutilate her?
She'd been lying in the woods for a long time, so I couldn't really tell. But he definitely didn't hack her up like the others. Judging by what her accomplice said, she robbed someone good. She had so much jewelry on her, she could hardly carry it. And what's odd is when she was murdered, the killer left her basket of valuables behind.
So I reckon he didn't kill her for the money.
She said someone followed her on horseback from Kuttenberg. She tried to lose him, but apparently wasn't able to.
On horseback? I don't suppose she described him, did she?
Only as a wealthy type who never got too close.
That doesn't fit in with the previous murders.
А коня себе кто может позволить? Ну явно же не этот, не не вугляр, короче. Все сводится к тому, что это шляхта, 100%.
Father Prokop came looking for Zdena and nearly cursed her on the spot.
What did he have in common with a thief?
He had also looked after her, but unlike Yarka, she ended up on the street, and he took it badly. Zdena tried to rob young von Grolle. It's possible she succeeded.
Von Grolle? Yarka worked for them, didn't she?
That whole family is suspicious.
Assumptions. Nothing more.
I'd say it's pretty obvious. Why else would I have found that ring on her?
They just left the ring by her body? That's odd, isn't it?
It wasn't by her body. It was inside of it. I don't know if she swallowed it herself or someone shoved it in her.
That's awful. But I can't say it surprises me.
My mouth is starting to hurt from all this blabbering.
So are my ears and head.
Come now, we're nearly there. We just need to find our suspect. So, Henry, who do you think did it?
О, третий мой вариант.
I suspect one of the von Grollers.
What leads you to think that?
Are you sure it wasn't William?
Ну вот, типа, все эти аргументы чисто понятно.
Alice had a young and wealthy suitor, and young von Grolle fits both descriptions.
True.
We could be getting somewhere.
Yorka was pregnant. And if the father was young von Groller, it would make sense if he got rid of her.
Sakura, you're right.
Факт,
But William could have fucked her too. Just saying.
Zdeno was followed by someone on a horse. Von Groller could afford a horse.
That's not so sure, is it? And maybe the horse was stolen or borrowed.
But it certainly worsens the case for him. That much is true.
Zdeno robbed von Groller.
That's true.
It's all coming together, isn't it?
Yorka was their maidservant until she started rebelling, right?
Yes. Do you think she was rebelling because of someone in particular?
Perhaps the young lord?
That's possible.
And that's all I can pin on him.
So, do we agree that it was young Von Groll?
Well, old Von Groller can't do much now, can he?
So do we really agree that our most likely suspect is young Von Groller?
Aye. I agree.
I don't have a problem with it. Little rich boys
Ну,
are capable of
мажорчик,
anything.
100%.
But what are we gonna do about it? Our suspicions aren't enough.
They'll just laugh at us without something more tangible.
So, you wanna search their house?
There's nothing else we can do. There must be a clever way to do it.
We have to find some evidence. None of our conjecture is enough. What will we do?
You could sneak in there.
Or break in?
Catherine, that's not necessary. The young lad wants to learn swordsmanship, and the old one is sick and always calling for a physician.
So I can either pretend to be a sawbones or a swordsman, or break in? That's a lot of options.
You're a clever lad. You'll figure it out.
3 выбора даже, да? 3 варианта. Ну, на мечника пойдем, мы же все-таки типа отыгрываем такого чела. Но я уверен, что это он. Очень много подсказывает, что прям...
I'm telling you, Conrad's going to...
Пока маленький меч возьму, потому что там какой-то, видимо, еще
Shouldn't be out here alone like this.
большой меч еще зараженный этим ядом. Может, не надо его убивать таким образом. Так, Ван Геролли, да? Это вот этот вот дом, да? Или нет? Соседний. Слуга Тадеуш. Угу. Можно прикинуться, что ты мечник, да, и с ним поговорить. Если он тоже мечник, то у него сильный хват, да? Это будет снова у нас. А если мы скажем, что мы врач, то мы можем тоже там посмотреть. То есть нам главное в комнату малого зайти, по большому счету. Так. То есть целитель или мечник? Угу. Легально зайти, да? Так, окей. Вроде как понятно все. Пока что сделаю паузу на секунду.
Can I help you?
Is this the house of the von Grolle family?
Yes?
I'm Henry of Skalitz. Master Menhard from Frankfurt sent me to train young Master Hendel in sword fighting.
I'm sorry, but I know nothing about it.
Are you telling me I'm not expected? The Master Swordsman won't be pleased.
No, this is surely my mistake. Please, come in. Go to the courtyard. You'll have more than enough room there. I'll send the young master to you immediately. God be with you, good sir.
Where did you get that new bench? Ours is all
А что если это слуга, кстати? Может, малявка и не убийца, а вот его слуга? Меч носят не просто так. Мадалина фон Грохе. Ага. О, у него этот сет как
I must admit
в
that I didn't
начале.
expect anyone so soon. Master Menhard said I'd have to wait a while for my lessons.
Well, that's true. But we had an opening, and Master Menhard immediately thought of you.
But of course. That's good. It doesn't matter. I'm actually glad it turned out like it did. At least Mother will leave me alone for a while.
What do you mean?
She's always trying to keep me at home. Says I go out with girls too much. She'd rather have me praying all day and night like her.
Well, maybe a sword fighting lesson will help you.
Maybe. But first I want to see if you have anything to teach me. Ready?
I'm not. I've only got a sharp weapon.
Really? You wanted to draw iron right away. Well, I can lend you one. But next time, bring your own. Toter Mann!
Угу.
Here!
Well, I hope the young lord is assured he has much to learn from me.
Yes,
And after a few lessons, you'll only get better.
I hope so.
Что-то звук пропал.
Basic steps.
Excellent. That's enough for today. But before I go, I'd like to ask you something. What type of weapon are you most interested in?
A sword, of course. It is fitting for someone of my standing.
And what about a cleaver? Or a hunting sword?
Pah! A cleaver is more fitting for some yokel or bandit. Or a butcher. And a hunting sword? My father used to have a beautiful one. I don't even know what happened to it. I wouldn't be ashamed of that one. But otherwise, they are for fat burghers and poor mercenaries.
And what about an axe? Have you ever held one?
No! Do you take me for a
Это
woodcutter?
его слуга, я почти уверен. Пиздюк, типа, не хочет даже говорить про остальное.
Have you ever killed anybody?
What kind of question is that? Of course not.
I meant in battle.
How else could you have meant it?
Ага.
Enough small talk. I want you to practice the basic posture. Nice and slow.
Yes, master.
Ну, балбес. Чел явно балбес. Чел стопроцентный балбес. Я думаю, это его слуга. Скушаем зелье на всякий случай.
What the hell? That's hair. All kinds of brown. I bet it belonged to those dead girls. If this isn't proof, nothing is.
I apologize.
Ну, понятно. Сейчас окажется, что убийца это не шляхтыча слуга, потому что тот слишком уж сопляк.
I need to discuss that visit to the Von Grollas.
Excellent. Let's find Kath.
I think we were right. Something seriously fishy there.
Well, don't keep us in suspense. What did you find out?
You found something there, didn't you? Evidence?
I certainly did. In the young lord's room.
What was it?
This. He had it in a chest in his room. Locks of hair. All brown, but all a bit different. They're definitely from those murdered girls.
Hair? But that's not enough. That definitely won't suffice as proof.
Why wouldn't it? He took them as a keepsake from the dead girls, as a trophy. It was him!
But nobody will believe us. We need more than just hair. A bloody dress or the murder weapon.
And to be honest, I don't think we're going to find anything like that. They're pretty careful to cover their tracks.
Damn it. We're fucked. If we at least had a witness.
And what about 3 witnesses at once?
Where are you going to find 3 witnesses when you don't even have one?
I don't yet, but... Look, we're almost certain young Hendel did it. So what if we set a trap and catch him in the act?
And how do you want to do that? I mean, we don't know who he's planning to murder next.
We'll set someone up. Some brunette.
You want to sacrifice some poor girl?
No, nobody's going to get hurt. We'll be keeping our eye on her the whole time.
The only one I can think of is Stanya. And I highly doubt that she'd want to risk her life again.
She won't have to. I'll do it.
But you haven't had anything to do with him. He'll see through it immediately. It'll fail.
We'll wait until the lad's out of the house. Maybe we'll dress Catherine up a bit, and she'll go asking for the young lord, father of her child. When Hendel comes home and hears what happened, he'll come looking for her to fix things up.
I'll cause such a scene, they'll be talking about it for years. Then we'll tell them where he can find me, and we've got him.
If you say so. But where can we do it? We can't do it here. They'd figure it out pretty quick.
We can use one of the rooms here in the tavern. It has only one way out. You'll be hiding across the way, and jump out at the right moment. I repeat, at the right moment.
Don't worry, we won't take our eyes off you.
Так, сейчас будет какой-то синема.
Where's Hendel? I need to talk to him! Do you hear me? I have to talk to him about our wedding. I won't be left alone with his child.
What are you screeching about, you ninny? There's no Hendel here. Certainly not for the likes of you.
Do you hear that, folks? He fucks me from all sides.
Ого.
Gets me with child, and now he doesn't want to know me. Get rid of her. Disgrace. Oh, so a poor woman has to suffer because of a man's lust. As if it wasn't already bad enough before.
What lies are you spouting, you strumpet? Goodman Hendel never laid eyes on you. Besides, you're too old for him. Nobody will believe your lies.
Old am I? He came to me himself because he wanted a mature woman to breed with. And he never even pulled it out.
Ого.
And he filled me up like a wineskin.
Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой.
Suit yourself.
Ой-ой-ой.
I'll give you some time to think it over. But either you come up with an offer of marriage by evening, or first thing in the morning I'll go to the bailiff. And I'll be damn sure to get justice from him.
Да, слуга убийца, 100%. Малой слишком пиздюка. Да, слуга убийца, я уверен. А мамка это знает. Мамка, короче, киллер. Она содействует. Угу.
It's open.
Ага.
I've come to come to talk with you.
Where's Hendel?
Hendel? You wanton whore! Debauching my son! A nanny goat like you! The others were at least young, but you...
Ой-ой-ой, що за шеймінг.
Christ, the trials I have to endure. A husband with both feet in the grave and a son who'll fuck anything with a hole in it. Slice her up so no one will recognize her, and in case what she says is true, gut her too.
Gutting, is it?
Опа.
I could help you with that.
Get that bitch, you fool!
Так, я так и знал, что это слуга, но я не знал, что мамка... Бля. А, он вышел. Он вышел, да? То есть мне надо его пойти догнать. Вот ты иди, да?
Show what you're made of.
Ох ты ж зараза.
He vanishes in thin air. It was nothing.
Так, ну...
Hey, you can't walk around at night without a light. Do you want me to arrest you?
На нас напали. Ну, я уже понял, что это слуга.
Catherine, wait!
What should I wait for? I'm gonna cut that bitch's throat.
How dare you? Hands off, you heretical scum.
Shut up.
Let her speak. I still don't understand what actually went on here. I have some questions for you.
I'll tell you nothing, you serpent. Nothing. You can't keep me here. Let me go. I'm a woman of worth.
If you won't speak now, then the executioner will loosen your tongue when your feet start burning. But why wait, right? I'll cut your ear off. Maybe both of them. All you need to talk is a tongue.
No! Let me go!
Why did you do it, for Christ's sake?
Don't blaspheme, you heathen.
Come on, answer him or it's gonna hurt.
My husband, he drank a lot, ran around with whores and didn't pray enough. And God punished him for it.
Ебанутая мамаша.
I couldn't allow the same thing to happen to Hendel.
And why kill those girls? Why not just talk to him about it?
I tried, but he wouldn't listen to me. He told me he wanted to sow his wild oats before finding a wife.
So your own son didn't listen to you? And you started killing the girls
who seduced him and emboldened him with their brazenness? If they wanted to whore themselves out, they'll pay for it in hell. But there's no way they were going to drag my Hendel there with them.
And what about Hendel? Did he know what you were doing?
That I was taking care of his immortal soul and eliminating his temptation? Of course not. But one day he'll be grateful to me for it.
He's going to jump for joy. His mother a mad woman, and his servant a murderer.
Speak politely to me, you whore.
Henry, if you have any more questions, you'd better ask them quickly. I'm sorely tempted to finish this here and now.
And what about the hair in Hendel's chest? You're trying to tell me he wasn't involved, but he was keeping their hair?
Well, he kept asking about those whores of his. So we always brought him a lock of hair. We told him it was from them, as a parting gift.
I didn't find that strange.
Out of sight, out of mind. He always found some new harlot anyway.
Конченый мажорчик, у которого еще и мамаша убийца, блядь. Ай, ничего не поменялось за 600 лет.
There was no blood where Alice was found. Where did you kill them?
That was up to Thaddeus. He told me something about an abandoned barn. I only told him to cut them up thoroughly.
Why?
Why? As a warning. So those whores knew what awaited them. To put the fear of God in them.
Do you realize you also killed girls who had nothing to do with Hendel?
That's not possible. I saw them all with my own 2 eyes, chatting with him and giggling.
And what about that alehouse wench?
That strumpet. I saw how she treated him. It's a damned shame she got away.
But she really had nothing to do with Hendel.
She wouldn't have smiled at him the way she did if she didn't want to fornicate with him. They all deserved it. Every single one. And better sooner than later. That trollop in our service even got herself with child. And she wanted to keep it. The slut.
And what about Zdenna? All she did was rob him, and you killed her anyway.
She fawned over him like all the others. He even gave her a ring, which she probably sold immediately. She deserved it. She was a thief, and stealing is a mortal sin.
I'd better stop asking questions.
Burn in hell, all of you.
What'll we do with her now?
Let's take her to the bailiff. She'll get justice there.
We don't have to go anywhere. I'll give her justice right here, right now.
But we can't do that. She has to go before the court. The law must be upheld.
Did you hear her? I mean, she hasn't got her head on straight. And what judgment will there be? She's from a wealthy family. Nothing will happen to her.
Don't you dare judge me. Only God can do that.
Shut your mouth, you sow. You judged and punished some random girls, and now you'll blaspheme like that?
Our Lord directed me. I did it through His will.
Do you hear that? And you want to let her live?
But that's not justice. It's murder. Henry, won't you say something?
I told you, don't you dare judge me. I am a servant of God.
Сори, я тут за самосуд, потому что не работает судебная система на шляхту абсолютно. Потому что, в принципе, шляхте, что позволено Юпитеру, не позволено быку.
Lumir, listen to her. If we don't deal with her ourselves, and then they let her go, then... Do you want to have that on your conscience?
But, I mean... How could I live with myself if we kill her in cold blood?
I'll show you justice. You're all going to end up in hell.
Your conscience will remain clear. You won't be the one killing her.
But still, if we don't punish her according to the law, then we ourselves deserve to be punished by the law.
Huh. We aren't the ones walking around the city killing random women.
Не работает закон на шляхту.
We're making sure no more will die.
All those whores! Hell! Lucifer everywhere! Fire and brimstone!
It's just not right.
It isn't right, but it's necessary.
All right, all right. Do it then. But I wash my hands of it.
No! Don't you dare! You hellspawn! No!
Well, now someone has to explain everything.
Not me. I'd rather just get out of here.
I'll go. I'll explain everything. And you, Henry, wait for me at home, all right?
Fine. I'll wait at yours.
Good, good. I hope I don't end up in total disgrace.
Well, this was a lot
Я
stranger
думаю,
than I
правильно
expected.
поступили.
Do you think we did the right thing?
I'm not sure of anything anymore. Not even myself. Can we just be quiet for a while?
As you wish. But still, it was damned odd.
Aye, that it was. Let's go and see Lumia. I wonder how he fared.
Tell us, Lumir. How did it turn out?
Did it end well? Oh, we're not going to get into trouble now, are we?
It ended well, and I didn't even tell anyone about you.
Так.
I'm surprised you got away with it, bringing them 2 corpses.
I would have preferred a different ending, but... fuck. What happened, happened.
Lumia, don't be angry anymore.
I'm not angry anymore. And I must admit
Ну не
that maybe it
работают
was better
суды
this
на
way.
вот эту шлюху. Они не
If they were still
работают.
alive,
Я
there'd be
бы
a
в
lot
живых
more
отпустили.
squabbling. But like this.
The dead approve in silence.
Precisely. I just told them I spread the word that one victim survived and where she was hiding. And I waited for them there. And when they came to kill her, we had no choice but to end it that way.
And what will you do now? Will you go back to the town hall, Lumir?
It's true I've made amends in the eyes of the law, but I probably won't go back now. Maybe better to write something about it. Who knows?
Won't you go back to drinking?
No, it didn't help anything, did it? If I had just persevered instead, I should have pitied those girls, and not myself.
Don't fret. It was a terrible mess, and all 3 of us had to put our heads together.
Yes. You helped me when I was in need, and didn't even know it. Maybe I'll just keep helping as long as I can.
Helping others is the best thing a person can do in this world.
And what will you do, Catherine? Will you stay here?
My work isn't done yet. I have to work in the tavern here, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll find work elsewhere.
Do you think we could have done better?
Everything can always be done better. But most important is to do it well and quickly.
Главное, что
Catherine
убийцу
is
нашли.
right. I'll still be kicking myself. Maybe to my dying day. But none of us did
Явно можно
anything
было
bad.
угандошить священника, либо
I'm talking about
музыканта.
innocent people. No more girls died because of you.
Убили убийц.
And that's good.
Well, let's go our separate ways.
Отомстили
lad.
за девчат.
You prevented future murders. And you also saved me. And for that, I will be eternally grateful.
I thank you both. Without you, the devil knows how it would have turned out.
Here you are, as a keepsake. And perhaps as a reward. And if you ever pass by, look us up.
Yes, here is a reward, Henry. And Lumiere, we shall certainly meet again.
Кутногорский лицарский щит. Нет, ну задание-то просто абсолют синема. Я не знаю, что еще можно было покруче показать. Ну, награда чисто такая, на самом деле, декоративная, но...
I don't understand how you always get people to tell you anything you want.
We women have it in our blood.
What, spying?
No, you rogue. Knowing how to listen. And also how to size people up.
It'd be good to learn a few tricks from you.
I can't now. Come back later.
А, она учитель, да? Интересно. Не, ну ладно. Квест просто пиздец. Просто абсолют синема, гайс. Сколько там до турнира? 4 дня. Значит, можно пойти еще этот садик закрыть. Ну, я что-то сразу же понял, как только увидел, что этот шляхтыч, скорее всего, просто сосунок, уже было понятно, что это слуга. Но я не думал, что это мамка. Хотя, по большому счету, слуга ж без команды бы вряд ли что-то делал. Поэтому вот. Главное, что наказаны те, кто виновны. Все остальное это уже такое ерунда. Умыться. И тут Тут реально, ну, если невнимательно проходить задание, то можно, ну, реально лишнего человека не того порешать. У меня, по-моему, даже книжечки сейчас есть, да? Почитать, да, да, все есть. Даже так можно почитать. Ого, книжечки прям по единичке дают. Интересно, интересно. Пару часиков поспим. На самом деле, вот это когда ты питаешься, когда ты тут все делаешь спокойненько, питаешься, то у тебя прямо нету такого, что ты устаешь. А что ты умеешь, зайка, кстати?
I'd like to learn a few tricks from you.
All right, but it'll cost you. I won't trouble myself with you for free.
Ну ты ж зайка, ну ты.
How do you manage to get in anywhere you want, and nobody finds you suspicious?
You just need to know people, as well as their stupid prejudices. You also have to be bloody brash and pretend you feel at home everywhere you go.
You'll have to explain that to me.
Listen up then, my disciple.
Приятная девочка, но мне горит из-за того, что ее тут уже считают типа
I'd like to learn a few.
What would you like to know?
взрослой, потому что по средневековым меркам она уже старуха, а по нынешним меркам это милфа.
You know how to get your hands on some interesting things. How do you do it?
Do you take me for a thief?
I wouldn't dare. On the contrary, I admire you, and I'd like to learn how you do it.
If only you weren't so damned clumsy. Listen up then, my disciple.
Чисто отдали 3000 ни за что. Ну ладно, такой. Сделали инвестицию, так сказать, в фонд МИЛФ. Так, у нас тут по квесту что? Пойти к челам, да, подписать. Ну там, видимо, наебка какая-то. Непонятно, что подписать, непонятно зачем. Мы такое не доверяем людям. А как только тут пройти, ага. Блин, ну хороший квест, мне понравился. Он даже в каком-то смысле более реалистичный, чем в Ведьмаке вот было про Новиград. Там, где этот вампир-катакан мстил людям за совершенные грехи. Так, это прикольно, как сюда пройти. А, мы тут были, это же этот еврейский балдеж. Ну, тут явно засада будет, я не поверю.
Who are you? And what are you doing here, lad?
I'm Henry. I'm supposed to help you write a letter?
Oh, right. Kwiatoslav sent you, didn't he? And there's something you're supposed to tell us, though.
Так точно. Справедливість дорожче за срібло.
Justice is worth more than silver?
Great. You know the password. Let's get down to it right away, shall we?
First, tell me why there's all this secrecy around this letter. And why are we meeting here? It doesn't look like an office.
Well, that's the way it's done in Kuttenberg. There's a lot of coin at stake, so we take precautions. And secrets that everyone knows are no secrets.
But you don't mind getting a complete stranger to write the letter?
Of course we mind. But what choice do we have? If Kwiatoslav sent you, we'll take the risk.
Ну, погнали.
All right. Let's get to it.
Чё пишем?
Right. A nice, polite beginning. Greetings, Master Markhold. I hope you are in good health and good spirits, and likewise your wife.
Never mind his old woman. Is he even married?
A prick like that would bully a woman to death. Write this. You fucking arsehole. Release them and pay up, or we'll fuck you up.
We can't be so brutal. We have to be more polite. Markhold is a merchant. He's all about coin. We need to, sell it
А,
to
то есть
him.
это письмо с угрозами, да?
Merchant, he's a murderer. Or do you think Thomas went off to see the world in his old age? He got rid of him when we started getting suspicious.
So? Thomas was a bastard anyway.
I'm just saying we have to stick it to Marco brutally, so he doesn't think we're afraid of him.
Bollocks. If we do that, he'll think there's no talking to us. We have to do it with a silver tongue.
Suit yourself. For all I care, you can just draw the fucking thing. It'll be shit anyway.
Well, do it like I said. So, dear Master Markhold, I hope this letter finds you in good spirits.
Markhold? I don't know him.
And you don't need to. He's a rich bastard. His house is close by, just beyond the town hall. Tailor's shops on either side of it.
Well, it occurred to me it might help me to write the letter.
He is an important man, and dangerous, and crafty, and that's all you need to know.
I'll make it sound a bit more refined. Greetings. I trust that this correspondence will find you in good health. Done. Next.
We are writing to you about a serious matter concerning our deal.
That you fucked us over on, you cheating scum!
Would you please let me compose this letter?
All right, forget I spoke.
Now, where was I? I am writing to you in regards to a serious matter concerning our deal, which did not exactly go well.
We are writing to you in good faith that we can resolve this misunderstanding, which was surely unintentional. What's next?
Right. What was it I wanted?
To get to the point?
Why don't you get to the door and fuck off? If you keep sticking your nose in, we'll never get it written.
We'll never get it written if you don't get to the point. But suit yourself, I'll shut up.
So, it didn't end up well. We would like this. We expect from you some remedy that will lead to improving things for both sides. If you refuse, it will lead to some deep shit, misfortune.
What did that fella actually do to you?
You'll find out. Sometime, maybe.
Write, and it'll all become clear.
All right. I'm writing. We ask you to rectify the situation to the satisfaction of both sides in this dispute. Your refusal, on the contrary, would result in your own downfall. Written. Next.
All right. Write this. Let our mates go free. Otherwise, we'll go to the powers that be, and they'll kick your arse for you, or your backside, or something polite.
Finally.
The powers that be? Have you got some dirt on him? What the hell did the fella do?
That's none of your concern. The less you know, the better.
Ah, come on. I'm helping you, aren't I? I deserve a little honesty, don't I?
You do, and that's why I'm being honest with you. The less you know, the better.
Free our captive brothers. Otherwise, we shall report your dishonesty to King Sigismund, and he shall see to your prompt punishment. Ah! Carry on.
Aye. Once they return to us safe and sound, we'll clear off and you'll never see us again. And your secret will be safe.
Ha! You don't really believe he'll let us go just like that?
Why not? If we disappear, he'll be out of danger. Him and his silver.
He'll be safe as long as he kills us.
Shut up, you idiot.
You shut up, you fool.
What was that about silver?
Nothing.
Don't give me that. I heard you.
All right, tell him. It don't matter now anyway.
Us and Markle made a deal. We stole silver for him. He took it out of the region and flocked it and gave us a cut.
Except he never actually paid us, the bastard.
So we started to set aside a bit of everything we nicked. Selling raw silver here in the city ain't exactly safe, but you can manage if you do it little by little.
Except that fucker Marco got wind of it, took our mates captive, and won't let them go till we give it all back to him.
You didn't have to tell him that. What if he shits himself and Scarpas?
Don't worry, he's a good lad. He'll help us and he'll be rewarded. Isn't that right?
Of course you're right. I'm in with you. Silver is lovely. What do you want me to write then?
As soon as our mates come back safe and sound, we'll clear off and you'll never see us again.
Once our brothers have returned to us safe and sound, we shall vanish from these parts, and you shall never hear from us again. Done.
Maybe some polite parting?
Like, go fuck yourself, shitbag.
We can't put that in the letter, surely. That's definitely not done. We'll do it politely. Yours trustingly in your wise decision, the Mining Brotherhood.
With regards and trust in your wisdom, yours, the trustworthy men of the honest Brotherhood of Miners. That's that. The letter is finished.
Great. Give it to me so I can seal it and have it delivered. We are grateful for your help.
We are. And we're sorry for what we have to do now.
Can't we just leave it be?
He knows too much. What if he goes to the bailiff?
I'd be no good to him anyway. Does he know about our camp on Sukov Hill? Kurva. I shouldn't have said that.
You must be the biggest idiot in the region. There's no way we can let him go now.
Fuck. Yeah. Sorry, lad. You're out of luck, I'm sad to say.
Look, that really isn't necessary. We can still help each other out, can't we?
How is that?
Someone still has to deliver the letter, eh? And the two of you can't, because he'll seize you right away.
So what? We can just grab anyone off the road and they'll deliver it for us.
Yeah, maybe. But how can you be sure they won't just throw it in a ditch or give it to someone else?
Why would they?
Who knows? But that's not the point. What I mean is, I'm the best man for the job you've got.
Maybe. And what do you get out of it?
Well, I get to keep my head on my shoulders. And maybe a small reward?
Maybe.
You believe him?
Why not? Silver has a way of shutting mouths.
Sometimes forever, if you're not careful. All right then, we can do it your way.
Agreed. Take the letter and deliver it to Master Marcold of Loney. He lives in a big stone house on the lower marketplace, next door to a tailor's. Got that?
Just make sure you don't tell him anything. Some miner gave you some coin to deliver a letter, and you did it, because you're a decent fella.
You don't have to wait for a reply, but watch how he reacts to the letter. If If it goes well, and Mark, there'll be a nice pile of silver waiting there for you. Don't you worry.
But if you betray us, there'll be a nice sharp blade waiting for you instead.
And if we see you going to the bailiff instead of Markov's place, you're a dead man.
All right, all right. I'll hand it over.
Ага, то есть тут можно и сдать, и можно и не сдавать. Вообще много вариантов. Ладно, отнесем письмо. Челы, конечно, вообще не понимают, с кем они связались, чтобы так угрожать, но не буду их обвинять в том, что они дурачки. Так. Так, уже рядом. Уже рядом какой-то соседний домик, да? Охоронец, подожди. На втором этаже где-то находится. Так, извините.
Wonder if anything's missing. I'd better look at my chests.
Блин, сейчас не понял. Ага. Меня выгоняют. Ну, значит, он здесь, да? Ну, прожмем слабенькую. Где ты просто, чел? Ну, наверху.
Эй?
Дай пройти. О, ты у нас, да?
Servus, guter Mann. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for Master Markold.
Das bin ich. What do you want? Spit it out, I've no time to waste.
На. А, можно даже молчание. На.
Some fella gave me this letter and said I should
Можно
give it
ему
to
и
you.
угрожать даже.
What fella? What did he look like?
Heads, 2 arms, 2 legs. Looked like a miner.
Give me the letter. What? None of them could have written this. It's almost like an Einladung to a royal banquet. How did you get hold of this letter?
Some bloke just shoved it in my hand along with a few groschen. He said you're expecting it.
Strange, but whatever. The main thing is...
No. They said they'd know straight away if you'll listen to them or not.
Wirklich? If that is how it is, I should listen, no? And fast.
What should I do then?
You? Right. By the way, do you know where Hlowshed's Gate is?
Somewhere in the north of the city, isn't it?
Ausgezeichnet. Soon a couple of miners will turn up nearby. Something tells me they'll be pleased if you tell them you brought me the...
Значит, надо вернуться.
You again?
Так, хорошо. и отдать, да? Где там эти телебоссы? Ну давай.
Good day. Well,
Наймет. Едение. Где они находятся, эти ягники? Непонятно. Ну ти Тесля, ти не гірник. Жебрак, ні. Служниця. Міщанин. О, пацани.
You must be Kviatoslav and Mislibor's mates, eh? You're free at last. I reckon you know where to go now, right?
Well, aye, we do, but who the hell are you?
A messenger, and a good Christian. I brought the message that secured your freedom.
Really? I owe you one then, pal.
Well, you can thank me later. Now we should all vanish quick, before Markol changes his mind about letting you go.
You're right. Are you going with us?
Sure. I'll go right along with you. I was promised something anyway.
I'd say you've earned it. I was beginning to think we were done for. Let's go then.
Так, а вы что-то не в грунт, да? Это какое-то другое место. А, не. Оно. Драник. Кветослав. Мыслиборж.
Right. Job done. Letter delivered. Markol didn't even get too angry.
I'm surprised. That fucker's a sneaky bastard who'd seize Jesus Christ himself if he thought he'd have something out of it.
Well, I'd never have thought it of him. He just sat there smiling.
Smiling? Christ, laddie. That sent shivers down my spine. Just when I thought we
Послал,
were in the
наверное,
clear.
убийц, да?
Ah, come on. What are you afraid of? After all...
What was that?
Ага, бандюки. Не, он сам пришел лично. Ничего себе.
Ausgezeichnet. I found you at last. For a while I was afraid you'd escape.
Fuck. How did you find us, you bastard? Did you double-cross us, lad?
What? No, this isn't my fault.
Nobody had to double-cross anyone. I just had to have you secretly followed.
What?
Naja, what else could I do? That letter made it clear to me you won't stop causing trouble.
So what now? Have you come to kill us all?
You're all long dead anyway, meine Brüder. You just don't know it yet.
You might be a match for ordinary miners, but I won't be so easy a deal. Wouldn't you rather...
But what if you open your mouth somewhere?
Well, if I open it, I open it.
Warum nicht? At them!
Nothing to worry about in these shit days. Bleeding like a stuck pig. Slice him up! Kill him! I'll hack your ass off! No chance alone! No mercy!
Oh, had a bandage!
That was a close shave.
Damned right it was. That bastard, he followed us to the camp. Here, lad, your reward. You deserve it.
Oh, thanks. And next time, find someone else to write your letters.
Ну, такая мелочевочка. Хотя тут на самом деле можно было во многих местах поугрожать, понаебать. Да? Нихерово чего одет был. Повязочки возьмем. Окей. О, можно сюда сходить, посмотреть. Может тут вернулся этот квест, появился в лагере. Может еще нет. Типа по сюжету надо дальше пройти, кто его знает. Скорее всего, нет. На всякий случай одену. Не, пока лагеря нету. Но я думаю, он тут будет. Тут как будто вот место расчищено, да, для этого. Так, что по квестам? Четыре дня. Ну, можно в этот грунт реально пройти. Пастка. Пастка так пастка. С какой стороны пастка? Сейчас мы покажем. Ага. Вижу, челебосы там отдыхают себе.
What? I'll get you. Another one.
Это было... Это было зря. По голове, конечно, он треснул, будь здоров. Что, только один был? Чем же ж они таким лупят? А, понятно. Понятно, понятно.
Mert! Where have you got to now?
Дождь делся куда-то. Так, еще где-то.
Greetings.
Дождь куда-то делся. Так, надо умыться и пойти в сторону квеста. Угу.
Call off that dog or I'll report you for being a public nuisance.
Вот зараза. Так, ну вроде мы в порядке прямо. Пару вещей подцепили, можно будет потом попродавать. Ладно, пушки я так и не нашел применения. Сильно медленно убирается. Если бы она убиралась быстрее, так пока ты ее убираешь, тебе по массам 5 раз ударит. Значит, тут по основному квесту что у нас надо? Поговорить, накопать этих компромата на вот этого вот казначея, чтобы нам помогли вот этот вот шляхтич, да, и его красавица-дочка попасть в Малишов, потому что там вроде этот птачек сидит. Ну, так вроде більш-менш, да? Что у нас тут по прокачке? Не знаю, конные атаки что-то вообще ни разу не использовал, что ни в первой, что во второй части. Звучит максимально бесполезно. Когда вы убиваете за рукавильной зброї, да, ваш наступний постріл задасть на 50% більше шкоди. Ну, это жестко, да. Cripple Strike. Когда вы стреляете пешком, да, Ага, то стамина восстанавливается быстрее. То есть можно кайтить условно. Такой билд. Билд челли-босса, лучника. Угу. Пока так и сделаем. У нас уже все равно перекач, мне кажется. Типа я пропылесосил почти все. Но он в первой части наступал довольно рано. Значит, Менгард, да. Это пацаны на драке. А это, скорее всего, соревнование на стрельбу. Так что мы идем по основному квесту. Там уже разберемся. Но это будет чуть позже.